Just Vishnu, no Mary. Welcome back to Persona 1. And in here, we managed to get 2 treasures. What's in the boxes? Fuck!
Oh, he wasn't even aiming at you.
He doesn't need to. Here's a rather potent weapon, the close knife. You don't get this in the PSP version unless you win it from the casino. Basically, it's a 110 power sword for Heiyu. It's pretty good stuff, actually.
I just saw all your stats go up.
Yeah, I know.
God damn.
It's potent, but like I said, the panic dirk's better. Only because you get 4 hits with it and a pretty good strength stat.
Why would they change the location in the PSP version? Why would they make you have to win in the casino?
I honestly have no idea. They did a lot of changing in the PS. By the way, this whole dungeon is completely different in the PSP version. It's really, really different.
Would you say the PSP version's harder or easier than the
It's easier. Because they didn't scale the damage up properly. Even though this game doesn't hit you hard enough to warrant the threat of death, barring you know, ambushed allies.
Yeah.
The PSP version somehow hits you for even less. Innocent Sin has that fuck up too. But not Eternal Punishment, thank God. So basically, I forgot what I was going to even say at this point. Shit. But this whole background dungeon here is completely different. They have like alternating pathways. Arrow forces you to go this way, that way, and this way, and shit like that.
Like the floor tiles and self cut and stuff.
You have the idea what I'm talking about, yeah. Damn it! I was behind you.
Like you said, he doesn't need to aim.
Maybe he just went clonk, bonk.
He hit you on the wind-up.
Yeah. The wind-up the pitch, and Jack knocks him out of there. I can imagine my dude not being able to do math after this part.
Do you have,
By the way, when you use an essence, it actually restores your health to full, so...
Oh, so in addition to giving you a stat boost, it heals you. That's nice. Do you have a limited inventory in this game?
Yeah. I'm trying to decide who gets my other spell point essence here. After much deliberation, Chris.
Would there be any reason to hold on to them, or is this something you should just pretty much spend the moment you get it?
Spend them whenever you want to. Just think a bit before you actually use it on somebody.
Well, yeah, because obviously some characters excel in areas.
Yeah, you want to give Mark the strength essence. He already hits like a fucking truck.
Yeah. Is that your phone?
No. Found her.
The hell? What's wrong with her face?
I have no idea. I think she's trying to erase herself from existence, so she's turning herself back into an immaterial construct or something.
You think so?
I don't know. I still haven't figured out what the hell this is supposed to be.
She's wearing a surgeon's mask on her face.
Yeah, but it looks like it does look like a surgeon's mask. The PSP version shows a cutscene of this, but I still can't make out what the fuck that's supposed to be.
What does the cutscene show?
This, like her face, like she has no face, and it's like, damn, she's trying to revert to being a blank personality.
So she's not just trying to cover her... It's not some pathetic attempt to cover her face up because she doesn't want to be seen.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's actually supposed to be symbolic in a sense.
In a way. That or she's trying to suffocate herself. I really don't know.
With a surgeon's mask.
Yeah. Hey, you can kill yourself with a plastic bag. Why not a surgeon's mask? So now we tell Mary that she's not a terrible person.
Do we get to draw our own face on her face?
You give her like the googly eyes.
Yeah, you just give her googly eyes and a sticking tongue.
You give her like you give her like one of those goofy ass like weird smiley faces you see on something awful like.
I would make an Animal Crossing reference, but you don't play Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
it's essentially a character in Animal Crossing that has a blank face. Her name, he or she, I'm not sure what gender she is.
Shit.
Her name is Blanca. Obviously, play on the word blank.
Oh, I thought it was that Hamster Street Fighter.
You can draw any kind of face on it, and you know.
You drew a penis.
Maybe. Johnny.
You can draw a dong on her face too.
Oh, now her face is back.
All right.
And she also teleported off of the bed.
Effort. Anyway, Nate gave a very good speech about how suicide is pointless and it brings on many changes. I told Mary to take it or leave it if she pleases. That being said, Mary decided to take the pain and with the good in life and decided to rejoin the party. Thank goodness. Otherwise, I'd be shot out of luck for a healer. I'm surprised Nancy just didn't turn around and try to actually choke Nate. Like, what the fuck are you saying, you dick? So basically, Mary here realizes what her mother was trying to... Mary realizes that, hey, hospital bills aren't free.
They're also making us responsible for the electric bill. That deficit is not cheap.
Can you imagine Mary getting left with Guido's electricity bill? this is the first time somebody ever thanked Nate for his goddamn opinion rather than slapping him in the face.
But Alfred's still dead.
Let's go, Batman.
What is he, embarrassed that we're thinking?
Yeah. He's actually blushing like, oh my god, I did something right. Anyway, we quit Mary here because she's been out of the way for a bit.
She got the mop again.
Yeah. She's scrubbing herself out of existence.
I was to be a janitor.
We can't stay in La La Land forever. Thanks, Chris.
But there you go. Lost Force. Now it's La La Land. Anyway, we're wondering about that last part. Thanks, Chris.
Mary's a lucky girl to have such good friends, including your friend that just tried to talk her into killing herself. Now, I'm checking the persona here. Yeah, she's still using walls until I get rid of her. I still have that level 11 persona on her all this fucking time.
Red font means the one you currently have equipped for battle.
Yes.
Okay.
White font means I don't.
But it's on standby.
Yeah. I'm just checking out all the stats right here, so to speak. And I'm hopefully leaving.
But you can switch personas in battle, can you?
Yeah, persona change.
Oh, okay. I was like, alright. I wasn't exactly clear on that.
Alright, I choose to give the HP essences to Mary because she has the lowest HP of them all. Though in a game that doesn't really hurt you badly, that's not saying a whole lot. I give Hey You another Vitality Essence because I'm the leader. Consolidate just means that you move them all up so you save so you remove the blank spaces.
Yeah.
Because blank spaces piss off Vishnu.
What's the out of all the times we played this game, what's the highest you ever got, like in terms of HP and SP?
I forget.
Is there a cap?
There is a cap, but for some characters it's different. Chris will always have the lowest SP. A lot of characters can actually come close to cracking 999s, I believe.
But it does cap at 999s, though.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Final Fantasy 1, actually.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Megami Tensei usually doesn't go higher than the 999s.
Well, if it's set up around that system, then it doesn't need to.
Right.
You know.
I need 45,000 HP. Fuck you, 13.
There's overkill, and that's just being silly.
Alright. See, 13's massive HP sponge bosses.
I never actually did break the HP limit in Final Fantasy X. I broke damage.
You don't really need to, though.
No. If you know how to set up properly for boss fights, you never need to. You got to break damage limits.
Yeah.
But you don't have to break HP limits.
Yeah, I know. That's why I've been doing my own. Actually, no. I kind of wonder because I do have the Genji shield on Tidus on my file. So, anyway, Persona.
In an area we've already been.
Yeah. We try to save our game everywhere, but to no avail.
Are you Augustus? No. Are you Augustus? No. Are you Augustus? You
I
already
think I got knocked in a loop here. Yep, I nearly got knocked in a loop, so I went back and double checked. Straight north. I'm sure that's symbolic too. I just don't know how. She looked up at night, wondered where her father was, then saw the North Star and thought, I'm going to make the force in my head make me sure that the north is the way out. I'm lying, I don't know. However, Mary now has a bad case of narcolepsy, so...
It happens every once in a while. In fact, the narcolepsy is so fucking powerful, it sounds like glass shattering.
Here's the room I missed. Thank you, Diamond. Is it Jack? Nope.
Oh.
Pearl.
I'm suspicious.
They had some Reaper chests, which I didn't realize is a retroactive shot to Persona 4. But if some chests, like a big puff of smoke appears, a giant Grim Reaper comes in and slashes you and reduces everybody's HP to 1. I also got the Orge Blade from the Titania.
A Sin Harvest in a can.
Yeah, essentially.
My favorite.
Well, no, it's just HP to 1. But the thing is, though, is that you got like Medea Rama by that point in the game, so it's no threat. You can easily just remove all the damage they took off, making you wonder, what's the fucking point? Ow. I imagine like sometimes they just walked with like a glass pane. Psh, ow!
This is the cleanest looking glass I've ever seen in my life. That's why we keep running into it.
Alright. This is the happiest we've ever heard in this damn level.
It's like we're inside a gingerbread house.
Dude, the last time we were in a gingerbread house, it was fucking oppressive. Now we need Mary's help to help the real Mary. Can you help us, Mary? Oh, that's strange.
I don't know.
So now we gotta go see Mary's conscious.
there's another form of Mary.
Well, you remember how we got the physical compact? Not this Mary, the rest of Mary. In other words, the rest of the Mary that's not the ideal Mary has the last conscious.
The real Mary.
Yeah, so to
the
speak.
Consciousness of the real Mary.
Yeah, this is ideal Mary.
I get what you mean. It's just, it's easy to jumble up words.
Yeah. Chris here is happy because, it reminds him of his mother. Nate finds it baffling that they had a conversation with themselves. Mark's a pedophile. And Nancy here tells you about the truth of the magic words. In the PSP version and in the Japanese version, the phrase is Urausur Samam. Read it backwards and it's mommy's treasure. Which makes more sense here. I mean, more sense in the PSP version.
Well, in this game, it's abracadabra, right?
Yeah. Poof. It was symbolic in this version, though. It reminded Mary of her mother, who was never there, so she'd always pull a Houdini. Abracadabra. Poof.
And I want an uncle.
So now we're done here in the Lost Force for good. So let's get the heck out of here.
Assuming no random encounters getting our way. Nope.
We're free! Free! I'm only being a little silent because I like this part. That's just ambient beauty right there. Nate!
Hello, I'm Matthew Mattel, and welcome back to Persona.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Matthew's taking a break. This here's Bob Ross.
No, get Bob Ross out of here. I'd rather have Matt.
Jerk.
Demonic possession.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Bob Ross likes to come up from time to time. Anyway, Nate never really met his own parents. I know I'm kind of like hitting this a bit late. Half the world's gone, by the way. Anyway.
The fuck happened?
Sort of like when Mary had her huge breakdown, so to speak, or when Maggie sort of like left and got eaten by Pandora. That pretty much took her half of the world with it.
But we're in the real world. Oh no, we're back in the parallel world. Right?
Yeah, don't you remember the heat wave?
Yeah.
Which is obviously now some realistic.
I remember the
dream
heat
fuzz.
wave. What about the black bars?
Go on.
What was the cause of that? Super Guido?
No. Remember, Mary was kind of like shattered in two, so to speak. Her mentality. The one half that had her evil, malicious desires was kept on that side, which is where the castle, the black market, and the haunted house were. Not to mention that the black market also housed Selena and Bruce.
Yeah.
So kind of like her own prisoners in a sense.
Was that the side that's grayed out now?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
That's why I said get your elixir stones beforehand. In the PSP version, you don't have to worry about that at all. Because in the PSP version, you can easily buy elixir stones from the pharmacy here. You can't do that in this version. So the only way you're getting elixir stones at this point in the game is making the
Saint Dragon.
Making the level 70 Raksha persona. Which sucks because it has no attacks of its own.
So we're making Saint Dragon.
Yes, and I'm using both Macabre and the... Oh, shit!
Painter?
This was the card that was the card I was supposed to save.
Vincent Van Gogh.
Vincent Van Gogh to Dragon. On the other hand, Saint Dragon's bitching, even though he has a weakness to magic.
Why did you have to save the painter?
Because I was going to use that when making Nate's ultimate persona. The armor stores changed again, but they only got the ultimate armor for the females this time around.
Well, worst case scenario, you can just go back to get the painter.
I can go to the ruins and get the painter card, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's going to be hard as hell to find. Anyway, here I just buy like the star helmet, the star armor, the star glove, and the star boots, and that's it for the armor shops.
Didn't you say the Yaksha is the best
For the males. Yes. The female can equip them.
That you can buy in a store.
Yeah, but remember, the females can equip them, so... Fantastic. I can also get more guns now, too. Provided I, talk to people here.
Any point.
What, new guns? More power.
Well, I mean, but are you at a point in the game where you can still get better equipment by buying them, or you're better off just converting Persona back to weapons and stuff like that?
A mixed bag. The Persona ranks from 30 to 50 have items and shit that you can eventually find later.
Yeah.
Or better later, but above 50, that's when you're going to want to start refining Persona again. Save Vixen, because Vixen's 46, and she refines into the ultimate machine gun for your main character and Brad.
Into the postcard.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
Vishnu.
you imagine getting Vishnu in Smash 4?
Vishnu in Smash 4. This incarnation of Vishnu in Smash 4.
Yeah.
No. I noticed in the comments section from earlier parts that people really wanted you to make Vishnu the persona itself.
I can't make it in this one, but he'll be around in Persona 2.
Alright.
Even if I have to grind up to level 80 goddamn 4 to use him.
Did you mention before how you can make Vishnu?
You have to get one of every spell card in the game, and then when you do that, you manage to get the glass doll from Igor, which is what you use with that and 2 other specific spell cards to make Vishnu. It's not a bad persona, but compared to the others at its level, if not earlier, he's a tad weak. Anyway, now that I'm done goofing off in the store,
I think you're actually gonna head back to the Velvet Room. Yeah, this part, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much Matt just making new personas.
Did you happen to get me going around the town? Because I did want to show off the great bars.
Oh, you talking about the dark
side of the
blue
world.
labyrinth?
Yeah.
I do show you going there once to show you what it's all about.
No, I mean like I go off on the side just to deliberately show off that the right half of the town is gone.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh boy, I'll be knowing that out because I'm gonna have to waste time going out of a video world and then showing off the that place.
Well, again, at this point, you're grinding. At this point, nothing plot important's happening, so nothing a little backtracking won't hurt. Again, that's the power of editing, Matt.
Right. I'm making Shaolin here, or Seimin, or what was that thing's name? Satan Taisei, I believe, which is basically Sun Wukong from the thing with the giant red pole from Dragon Ball Z. Anyway.
Oh,
Sun Wukong.
The Monkey King.
Right. Anyway, interestingly enough, I make this persona up here. If you return it to rank 8, you get something called the Mad Dog, which is Mark's second strongest shotgun. His ultimate shotgun comes from returning Satan, but Satan's too good a persona for a shotgun, so...
This is Satan's shotgun.
I think it's called the Megiddo Fire or something like that.
Dracula has an attack called Megiddo Flame in Order of Ecclesia.
Megiddo Flame!
Dark Megiddo!
Dark Megiddo? Oh boy.
It's kind of redundant.
And into that. I still got to see what else I can make. Hey, I can make Almighty. Yes!
Oh yeah, speaking of... Alright, this is actually... we had a bit of a video glitch here, Matt. What you're about... The next persona you're about to make right now is Almighty.
Yeah.
As soon as I'm showing this... Alright, this is what Matt's making right here. And I'm fading out to when Matt makes another persona because for some reason the video skipped.
Oh.
Right around the point we were making Almighty. We lost about like 10 seconds.
Wow.
I have no idea what happened. But yeah, Matt has made Almighty.
Yeah, now we're back here again after doing a whole bunch of spell card negotiation. Yeah. I can now make a whole bunch of other persona. I went to the ruins to get some other weaker cards. For example, the Ghost, a level 8 card, combined with Hinos, a level 34 Night Demon.
Form of bucket of water.
Wonder Twin power is activated.
But
and we got out of that the Jester. This is actually a pretty cool persona to use if you throwing an item into it. Considering that you're actually gonna have to really get in an item, otherwise it really can't do shit. If you give that to Mary, it's one of her unique forms of resisting dark magic. Otherwise, you're kind of out of luck.
Oh, the casino.
Judgment 1999. I'll help you. We exchange some money for tokens here. Would you like some tokens? Let's see. I spent about 2,500 because there's a particular... oh, wait, no, I don't. I forgot I already did that. I'm double checking here to make sure I got the particular items I want for fusion.
Yeah.
Big statues for Garuda, Thunderbox is for Busho, Monk Tablet is for Succubus, Monk Charm is for Vora, and the rest of them are earlier personas. The Nightpulse for Hera, the Pentagon for Brax, and the Hellbook for Trickster.
So $1 is the equivalent of 1 token.
Yeah.
Place.
Whereas in the PSP version, one token is 100 yen. But money is so easy to come by at this point in the game that it's really no pain to really save up the money and go for it.
Yeah, you're not really, you're not much of a high roller.
Dude, I'm the kind of guy that would play blackjack and somehow get dealt the get out of jail free card. Ah!
I believe...
Mary, you gotta stop doing that.
I believe we're heading into
We're heading to the ruins.
Yeah, we're heading to the ruins.
The ruins is basically amalgamation of all the monsters you met earlier in the game. You can go as deep as 9 basements.
Yeah.
there's no prize to this whatsoever. The PSP makes like a supplement. The PSP has like an optional boss battle area in the ruins where you can fight like the 6 sins, but they're each jacked, but their stats. I mean, 6 sins with 2 different monsters apiece, like in separate battles. Like Lust has its own battles, Arrogance has its own battle. But you gotta really think a bit about your formations and how you're gonna take out the monsters.
Yeah. And just to demonstrate what you can encounter here, this is the only battle we're going to be showing off, but as Matt was saying, you can encounter older monsters here and to get their spell cards for fusions.
Right.
That's pretty much what Matt's doing here for like the next 25 minutes.
I do believe I also meant, yeah, because I was trying to find this one particular card class I needed.
But I'm only showing this battle off to let you guys know that you can encounter older monsters here. So if you're looking for a particular spell card,
or you're trying to go after the Vishnu spell card.
The
Vishnu item.
Yeah.
But the problem is, however, is that the ruins themselves have all the monsters, and as such, there's a rather low chance of finding the particular monster you want, as opposed to the monster in its particular dungeon.
Is there a better alternative, or is it pretty much you're stuck with this place?
You're stuck with this place if you missed out on any of them. My advice to you is, you want the class all item, make a checklist of all the demons in the game, tick them off as you get their spell card.
Or game facts. It's your best friend.
I suppose.
Well, for reference.
$27. Remember that was high money back in the day?
Memories. I have like 7,000. And this is pretty much post after Mac pretty much grinded with every spell card he needed.
I needed a fallen monster because I wanted to make the level 44 persona Anko.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to give to Mary for the next dungeon. But Anko is another great persona. If you return it, you get a glove. You get Chris's second best weapon. It's weaker than the final glove he gets from returning Loki.
Yeah.
But it'll still tide you over until you get it. Besides, God forbid, I wonder what shit that Iron Claw's in now.
Yeah, different walking speeds in the world map. You can walk and jog.
You can walk and hold triangle to run.
Triangle to run? How bizarre.
Indeed. Since I noticed you edited out to this point, I'm going to assume that you didn't show off me going on the side of the world. So I'll have to show that off when we go back. There's like 2 NPC at the side where the subway station are, where they look at you and go, "Dude, the right side of town is fucking gone." As evidence, when you take a look to the right and you see, yep, void.
Is there any point in showing off?
I just wanted to show off to show you that you can't go back there anymore.
Just so you're not lying.
Yeah.
The right side's gone, so go for it.
I fibbed before.
So now what we'll be making?
Inferno.
Bumbo.
Bimbo.
It's a large pair of breasts. Igor's
Anyway,
pleased.
I don't make it with this combination because I realize I need to use the Flower Kid. But that actually no, this is what I'm making. I'm making Vora. I'm sorry. With this combination, I managed to get Vora with Cursal, which helps in its diversity because otherwise you're stuck with a persona that only does ice magic.
If I'm showing off a Velvet Room segment, you're making something. I don't leave any of this stuff where you look, because there are actually, I think I edited out about 3 times where you went to the Velvet Room to look at the grid to see what you needed, and then you went back out. So I edited those out for the sake of time.
Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope.
Johnny's gonna love this. No, but on a serious note, it doesn't take very long to edit this at all.
So that's Vora, and that's what when we return that, we'll get Mark's final axe. What is your desire?
Can we get a jukebox in here? Lady's been singing that same tune since part fucking 3.
Yeah, they vary it up a bit more in the They vary it up a bit more come the
Persona 3, 4.
Persona 2.
Persona 2.
She sings 3 different tunes.
Do you remember back in Resident Evil 2 when we were showing off Leon's alternate costumes?
Yeah.
The theme you told me I had and that's from Persona 2.
Yeah, there was a Candida.
Was that the armor shop or something like that?
Yep. And now we're making Inferno, but since these ingredients are particularly good for a death class, what we're going to do is throw in an item. Behold, this will give it Gale at rank 2 instead of the spell inheritance. Whatever item you throw in takes precedence over what it inherits.
Inferno.
No, it's Anko, the French god of death.
Well, in this game it's called Inferno. I don't know why. I read what I see.
So do I, and it looks
I mean,
weird.
you can give me its real name.
Yeah, it's wacky as hell, though. Besides, it doesn't even really do any fire magic.
It's a real fucking fancy hat, though.
This thing actually has a unique spell called Cyber, which is the puppet status. Cyber is basically a revive in a sense, but it revives your character with 0 HP. And they only do physical attacks. So they're like marionettes. That's a way of looking at it, yeah. The only way to actually break the status is to kill the caster of Cyber.
So it's like
It's marionette.
Yeah, because 6's zombie status is actually very similar to that.
I give that to marionette instead of Aura.
The question: if a character is in puppet status and they can only attack, and they attack both sides, or just the monsters?
Just the monsters.
Okay, that's better than zombie then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Zombie is a loose cannon in 6.
Zombies can't think for themselves.
Yeah, they attack anybody.
They can't think for themselves because they're too busy trying to keep their brains in their heads.
Save and stop using your intestines for jump rope.
1, 2. Oh, damn, there go my ankles.
Oh, well, I do believe this is the end of part 20, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to hover over the time bar, just make sure I'm not wrong. Yep, we are near the end of part 20, ladies and gentlemen. So, for next week, what can we expect, Matt?
We can expect me to clear out... We can expect me to fuck up the save slot here, because I'm trying to make a duplicate just in case. Later.
He lied.
We're gonna go see... We're gonna go talk to the real Mary's... We're gonna talk to Mary's consciousness, and then we're gonna be at the end game. So... Look forward to the final few parts, ladies and gentlemen.
We're almost done.